Hey, a couple things I wanted to show you on the homestead. I'm going to take a walk around, break from my regular job, so here we go. This is where we had the original duck run, right here. And the access door for the chicken run part, the inside section that's fenced off, is right there. So they would come in here and I'd close it up. Well, I'd close up the side over here and they would come in here, and the chickens could come in here too, and they could swim and they could do their shade and all that kind of good stuff. So they had a good time. So I've since moved it over. This was, that's about 2.5 weeks worth of time on the ground here. The ground is flattened. Ducks flatten the grass. They don't scratch it up. And this is probably going to bounce back pretty well. They just scratch it. The grass is flattened. We've had so much rain, and if I come back through and rake it, like you can see some of the stuff's already coming back, it's going to look just fine. So the new the new spot for the duck run is going to be over here underneath the shade of a tree here and a tree here. They do have their pool over here, and I have a shade cloth up as well over here. You can see the chickens love the shade. I mean, they've got shade in their chicken run, but they just love this too. There's also grass for them to take a look at. They got some fresh water over here. Fresh water flowing there. I can put feed in there if I want to, if they need it. I do take the hose, comes around here, and then I attached a shut-off valve here at the end so I can trickle it to fill the pool. And overnight, here's the cool thing. With a duck pond, it looks nasty after a couple days. But if you leave it to sit overnight, the sediment settles down to the floor of the pool, and I can use this rotor pump. I put this end into the pool on the bottom and vacuum out all the sediment, and I send it out through here to either large 5-gallon buckets or directly to my trees to give them what they need. And then he just showed something hysterical. The bad thing is he goes after the chickens and the ducks when they're in the pen. He can't reach them. The good thing is when he came running around here just to startle them and play with them, I don't think he'd attack them, but to play with them, he didn't realize there was fencing here, and he bounced against it. So one reason I had to do so many posts in this duck run is not just because of him. He won't get through anyway, but my daughter's dog is coming, and I wanted to make sure that no one is in danger from silly dogs. So this fence is actually really good deer fencing. It's 7 foot tall, and it comes around here. It's just pushed down right now, and I zip tied really well down at the bottoms. I made sure it's nice and tight, and boy, I wish I could get him to do that again, because like I said, our guard dog ran into the fencing, boom, and he bounced right off. He was very surprised and startled, and that's good. So there's a duck fencing, our duck run. And here's the thing, chickens like it dry, so it is very dry in here under the covers, and over there under the covers. This is all attached. It just kind of goes like around behind the greenhouse, and then between the greenhouse and the coop, and then it goes for that covered tunnel up in there too. So they got a lot of places they can go hang out and be on their own if they want to, but they like it dry. The ducks like it wet. So I'm going to let the ducks be out here and do their wet thing. By the time the ducks get into the coop, they're dried off. The chickens are hanging out over here where it's dry, because the problem was I had the pool like right on the other side of this fencing, and it was very muddy, and then the chickens were walking around in the mud, and then the eggs were turning out really dirty. I'm not about dirty eggs. That doesn't work for me. So they have a dry area they can hang out here. And again, because my daughter's dog is coming to stay with us for a little while, I don't want the chickens to just roam. There may come some times where I will lock up the dogs and I'll let the chickens out through here. And then they can do the whole, you know, they got the whole yard to go. But for now, this is what is going to work. There's a buzzing noise. It's a fan. This is blowing air into the coop from the west side. It's a solar panel. So as long as the sun is out, it's working. And it actually has one more fan. I'll show you. One more fan up there trying to vent out the hot air. It's a sloped roof. And so I'm just trying to get that breeze going, that cross breeze going from here over to here with that solar fan. And again, it only works when the sun is shining. It doesn't work at nighttime. But at least it cools down the coop a little bit to keep them nice and comfy. Oh, looks like there is yolk on the floor. Children, somebody dropped an egg somewhere. I don't like it. There is Astrid. Yes, baby. Swedish flower hen. Here on camera. She's getting all nasty dinosaur. And I'm letting her sit on 8 eggs. She went broody. And I'll just let her do her thing. Put those eggs back under. You're okay, baby. And luckily, she's not mean to me. But I also don't want it to get so hot in here that it's going to be hard on her. So I got that ventilation going. And then sometimes I'll just take this fan and I'll kind of set it near the box. Like the other day, I think it was like 85 or something. So I set it near the box to just keep the air circulating and going. I don't know why that egg is broken down there. Nope. I bet it was from over there. Darn it, I hope nobody ate it. Let's put it down there. Clean that up a little bit. What else was I going to tell you? Oh, flies. Flies are kind of a constant, but they can be less when you scoop out the poop the chickens do overnight, because half of their poop is from the nighttime. And when you have something on the floor to collect the poop, Joel Selton calls it a carbonaceous diaper, but the flies are going to come. That fly strip has been up for, I think, 4 days. It's almost time to change it again. As soon as I put it up the first day, or the first, 15 minutes, there were like 10 flies on there. But that's one way to do it, is to catch the flies on the strips, and also to scoop up the poop, so they're not willing to do that. I do have a little thermometer in here, just to kind of keep an eyeball on it. I'm thinking about maybe putting a window here on the north end too. So then we'll actually have a cross flow from the south to the north. And this is on the west side. The west side gets most, well, yeah, the west side's going to get most of the sunshine in the afternoon. I've even thought about maybe putting a curtain on there, but I don't want the whole thing to be dark in here. I mean, they'll have sunshine from there, but still. Okay, I'm going to show you that, the solar lights, and I'll show you the panel again. I always do things temporary until I decide for sure that I want it to be permanent, in a permanent spot. So right now it is just laying on top of this tarp that covers basically the dog pen area of the chicken coop. Okay, so that's that. Now I was going to show you, oh man, I'm just babbling on. Come around here. Oh, if you haven't got a water trough pool yet, you should think about it. And then get a shark chlorine filter, because then it can swim around and it looks like you got sharks. Okay, yeah, so this water, this duck butt water is fabulous for fertilizing things. It works really, really, really well. So I'm collecting it. I can pour it into watering cans and then use it on my gardens, which I probably will do. Okay, come around here. Just a quick peek at all the flowers I need to harvest. Look at all those. For cut flowers, I really need to be coming in here and cutting them, because there's a lot there. Oh, this is how much rain we had yesterday. Last night-ish yesterday? All day yesterday. So there's an inch. No, actually, this is, we had a first rainstorm and that gave us, gosh, 3/4 of an inch. And I dumped it. So this was an additional inch that we got yesterday during the rains. Oh, there's peas too. I got a lot of peas I gotta harvest. All right, garlic, the tips are browning. It's okay, I'm not worried about it. I took all the scapes off the garlic, so that's not a problem. Mr. Owl, probably need to move you. Love those flowers. They're staying nice and dry under here. That's the most important thing for chickens. Dry, 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 so they can roll around. I don't know what the ducks are doing over there, but that's okay. Oops, still have some I gotta plant. I'll do that soon. I got more flowers I need to cut. More cut flowers, more snapdragons. They got blown over this time by the winds. Tomatoes, that's how high the tomatoes are on this side. The peppers on that side aren't doing great either. They're toward the back. They don't look very good. I don't think I duck butt watered them. I should probably do that. And then I've got perennials. This is a perennial nursery. This is everything that I winter sowed up in the front here, in the front area, there, and on this side here. I got daisies and poppies, bellflowers, lavender. I think I had like 16 lavender plants that came up from winter sowing. And then those are the tomatoes on this side here. They're not really tall, but that's okay. Chamomile's going nuts. Been harvesting that on a regular basis. Oh, and I did do some containers of flowers, containers. And we got strawberries like crazy. We actually have crazy strawberries. But this morning, the Chief and I did this to protect the cherries from the birds. These are the Carmine Jewel cherry bushes. They're not trees, they're bushes. Last year, the bags we used were a little bit smaller. So if you are going to put bags on your, netting on your produce, make sure they're the bigger kind. It's a lot easier to put on, a lot less stressful, takes less time when you have the right size bags. This is not regular standard bug netting either. It's very thick. It's almost like screen for your house, but it's white. It's a little bit less, oh gosh, I don't know what you call it. Less solid than screen. It's not a sperma screen, but it did very, very well for these cherries. You can see some of them are starting to get ripened. And as soon as they do, the birds are going to want to come and eat them all. No, birds. Bad idea. So we did that this morning. We protect what we value. When you value your cherries, you protect your cherries. If you value your orchards, you protect your orchards. Any gardens you value from critters, you can fence them. Critters, dogs, I don't know, foxes. Do you know foxes like pumpkin? Okay, anyway. Let's see, over here. This was our oldest strawberry bed. And it's kind of messy, so I'm not going to look at that. There were a lot of strawberries outside this fencing here. The chickens have already taken care of that. And the grapevines, I got to go back and train them. And the fig tree is doing really well. I may have to go in and weed it. See if there's anything that's weedable in there. That's a Chicago fig. I don't bring it in. I leave it out there over winter. And then I swapped out the green cones I had with these waste baskets from the Dollar Tree. $1.25, guys. Dollar Tree. And these are going to protect the squash. What else do I have in there? Squash, watermelon, different things like that from critters that eat them or critters that scratch them up like the chickens. And I don't know if you can see, there's already some babies in there. I am so excited. I love growing stuff like this. Vines especially. I really love to grow vines. Oh, that's better if I shade it. Love, love, love to grow vines. So these in the back are butternut. The butternut tends to get the most squash bugs, but they also live through it. So I like to let them be in the very back because they will get ugly after a while. But see, the water can come in, the light can come in, the air circulation can flow. And what is that on my... Oh, that looks like a cucumber beetle. What is that? Oh no, that's a lightning bug. You better not eat anything. I gotta make sure that's a lightning bug. I'm gonna take a picture. When in doubt, take a picture. There, I took a screenshot. I'm pretty sure that's a lightning bug though. Yeah, okay. I'm not gonna panic. Not going to break out the insecticide. This trellis is mostly cherry tomatoes because I really don't care so much about this area. So if they fall and the chickens get to them, or if they just fall down and they replant themselves, that's fine with me. They can stay. And for them, I didn't cover them. I just put these little pinwheels up. I also don't have the chickens out a lot lately, but the pinwheels, when they start moving anyway, the birds don't like it. My birds don't like it. Your birds might. Mine don't. I do need to get them out there here again though, because look at all these weeds that are growing up now. And there's more babies. More babies. I could do this all day long. Oh, my babies. And let's see, what else is going on over here? Cucumbers. I did more watermelon, more squash. Oh, a little butterfly. Oh, bye-bye, little butterfly. I love it. These giant leaves, I love it. Yeah, I got cucumbers. I see they're flowering now, but I don't see them climbing. And I do have beans in here. Oh, you want to climb over here? Maybe. And if I put them there, the chickens will eat them. But they already have something going on I don't like. What I need to do, when I'm going to grow cucumbers, I need to find the kind. I have to get hybrids. I can't get heirlooms. Heirlooms are great because you can just save the seed and it's the same one every single time. Hybrids are not as great when you want to save seeds because the ones that come out will not be the same as the parent plant because they're a mixture. But I keep having issues like that over here with the cucumbers. Seems like no matter where I plant them, they keep getting this kind of stuff. That kind of stuff. That kind of stuff. And I did wrestle with like the mosaic virus also. So I think I need to get some hybrids. Gosh, what a mess. Get some hybrids that are resistant to any of that. Oh, that's a baby. Those are two babies. I believe these were honey nut squash, so they're smaller. The others are butternut squash in the back. Those are butternut back there. And these are honey nut. Like Cheerios. Okay, but I wanted to show you something else. And then I gotta go back to work. It's enough of a break. Show you this. Not this part, but I'm going to show you this anyway. I'll show you this. This is where we originally had strawberries. They have stayed and they have multiplied. They have grown all through the edge of the garage between, look at all the strawberries, between the sidewalk and the garage. And they're making their way to the street apparently. Now a lot of them already have bites out of them from either critters or like slugs. But I can harvest those and give those to the flock. They like those as treats. Alright, so I'm going to show you this. This one I just finished up last night because it was rainy and it was a great time to do it. Ta-da! There we go. It's got 4 squash trellises. I planted delicata squash here, and then individual sized watermelons here, Japanese watermelons. I think they're the Tommy, and then some yellow squash over there in the third one, and then some more personal sized watermelon over there. I also have some beans here, yellow and green, like the wax beans. And in between, right now I have sunflowers in the back. I don't want to plant in the middle because I need to be able to access the spot in case I need to weed or something. But what's going to happen is they're going to grow up. They're going to go through the trellis. I'm going to train them to stay on the trellis. I might have to add some like garden fencing in the back to help them grow up it. But because it's delicata, I know delicata is not going to go very far. But it does like to grow like on a slope. So that's good. It keeps it off the ground. More sunflowers, and yellow wax beans and green beans in here. And then I'm using the pinwheels again. Pinwheels are nice because they're shiny, they're reflective. It kind of scares off the critters that come at night, especially if it's windy. If there's any kind of movement, they don't like it. Birds don't like movement. Deer don't like movement. So it's nice. I use that a lot. I really enjoy using that. And then the benefit of planting the seeds in the bottom parts of these trellises here is that it's so short. Like the gating covers them so well. It would be really hard for a deer to come along and just eat the seedlings. It's also inconvenient for a cat to come and dig in the soil in these areas. So the seeds actually stand a better chance. And this area faces full south. It has sun most all of the day. So it's going to be a great location for these. This is, I didn't do anything with the grass. I laid cardboard. I shoved it behind the weeds along the fence, laid it down, put 2x4s down to keep, the 2x4s, they were in the middle, to keep them down. Added mulch like crazy. That was the wood chips, the fresh wood chips. And then when I was ready to plant the seeds yesterday, I propped these up with that little piece over there, that little piece of wood over there. Propped them up, used my long handled small rake to make sections, just move the wood chips. And then I plopped the composted manure, all up in here, compost, just in those pockets. And then I pushed the wood chips back up against the compost sides to keep the mounds. So when it rains hard, it doesn't just take off. But this is one of the easiest lazy garden methods that you could possibly do. You do not have to till. You do not have to worry about weeding and all that stuff necessarily. You can just lay your cardboard down, put your stuff on top, plant them in. By the time these seeds grow enough roots to reach the cardboard will be deteriorating from the water. They'll go down into the soil. And in the meantime, all of the grass underneath the cardboard will have died off and added a little bit more enrichment to the soil. So it's not a bad idea to do. I just happened to see a bird. Over there is where I protected some of the service berries for us. But I just saw some big old birds, and they're eating service berries up in there too. Which is okay, because I told them they could. That's why I left that open. I told them they could. But you can see these are the covers we used last year for the you little Shiite, get out. Oh, it's stuck inside. Oh darn, it's a starling. Don't like those birds. Let me see if I can get it out. Come on, out you go. See, it's not foolproof, obviously, because I couldn't cover the whole thing. Like I said, these are from last year that we used for the cherries, Carmine Jewel cherry bushes, and they all fit inside there. But for the service berry, it could have used one of these large ones that we used on them this year. And you can see, let's see, here we go. Various stages of ripeness on service berries. So I can tap it. There you go. There's service berries. This one is ready. Whoops. This dark purple. See, they turn bright red. That's when the birds want to get them. But we want to wait until they are dark red or purple before we eat them. Because then, oh, they're so delicious. Service berries. Look at this tree. It's full of them. Full of them. Oh yes. Oh yes. This is the kind that we want. You see the difference between the bright red ones. Obviously the light green ones are not ready. That one's not ready. These are ready. They're like I don't know, is that magenta? Maybe. Oh yeah. One more. Alright, I gotta go. Oh, they're so good. Now it takes a lot of them to make up a jam or jelly or syrup, but they're worth it. Even those were a little early. I could have waited on those. The birds can't though. The birds will go nuts over them. So if I want more, I need to come out soon for the ones I didn't protect yet and get them off of the bushes. But oh my gosh, they're so good. Alright guys, gotta go. Gotta get back to do the job that affords the lifestyle. Okay. Hope your weekend goes well. And I'm out.